To start, yeah.
So let us start. So good morning, everyone. On behalf of Navrachna University, I, Dr. Sheetal Shende, Assistant Professor, Data Science Department, welcome all of you. Today we have with us Dr. Neela Yajnik, uh, Provost Navrachna University, Dr. Amrish Badgujar, Head, School of Engineering and Technology, Dr. Salma Peerzada, Program Chair, Data Science Department, Mr. Dhaval Mehta, Program Chair, Computer Application Department, and experts from industry, Mr. Nikhil Patel and Mr. Vatsal Gadia. Mr. Nikhil Patel is a principal data scientist and machine learning practice leader with over 16 years of hands-on experience in integrating and mining large data sets. Presently working as a senior manager, leading teams and technologies in artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning at Harman International, USA. He has done his master's in applied mathematics from MS University of Baroda. Mr. Vatsal Gadia has done his master's in computer application. He has 6 years of experience. He started his career as a PHP developer and currently working as a lead technical project manager in WYOC. So now I would like to request Pro Sir to say a few words about university. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Sheetal. And on behalf of Navrachna University, I welcome all the faculty, all the students, parents, and the guests who have come here today. Thank you so much for joining us today to understand about career opportunities in both Bachelor of Computer Applications as well as data science. I'm so grateful to both Mr. Nikhil and Mr. Vatsal, who have spent so much of their time and who are going to spend so much of their time with us today. Thank you so much for joining us. Our university is very unique in many ways. The core philosophy of our university is about the interdisciplinary nature of working in a highly innovative manner. Just yesterday, I was in another program on careers organized by my community association in Mumbai. And we too had called several experts across industries, engineering, life sciences, IT industry, entrepreneurship, law, finance. And we had a very nice and interesting discussion. One thing that came out throughout is that in every such industry you see, whether it's engineering, whether it's banking, whether it's insurance, whether it is government, whether it is any kind of industry that you see today, law, even law today, all these industries, the heart will be computers and application of computers, and increasingly data science or analytics of data will increasingly be used, because there's so much of data being generated all over the world. And how do you apply this data to take an informed decision is what will differentiate your company from any other company. So it's a very, very much in demand discipline, data science, as well as computer applications. And both these disciplines are going to remain for a very long time to come. Yesterday, we also had the NASSCOM very senior vice president, former very senior vice president who started entrepreneurship. So he was also a speaker yesterday. And one of the things which NASSCOM, as you all know, the National Association of Software and Service Companies, what they have said is, their slogan is India is IT. India is about computers and everything connected with computers. So whether it's applications or whether it's data science. So this is what we will see, and career opportunities will be huge today as well as tomorrow and in the years to come. Many emerging areas are coming now, like healthcare, where technology, information technology, and applications of computers as well as analytics of data is becoming increasingly useful today. So I'm really looking forward to both Mr. Nikhil and Mr. Vatsal, because they will be telling us what is happening real time. They are right in the heart of the industry. So they can share with us their views. So thank you very much. On behalf of Navratna University, I once again thank both the speakers who have joined us today, as well as all the students who are watching this program live, and all the parents also. And we are always here to help you and understand, help you and guide you in your career plans. Thank you and welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
sir. Now I would like to invite Dr. Amresh Bhadgujar to say a few words about School of Engineering and Technology. Sir.
Yeah. Good morning to all the participants present over here. School of Engineering and Technology offers various undergraduate as well as postgraduate programs. It offers BTech in civil, mechanical, electrical engineering, as well as computer science and IT. And it offers BSc data science as well as BCA programs. It offers the post-graduation programs in all this field: civil, mechanical, electrical, as well as computer science. And it also offers the PhD programs. To just update all the participants, we are also having the scholarship programs for the merit come means scholarship, where we support the very bright student and underprivileged students, means who are financially not doing well, and those who are having some issues and suffered from the COVID, that they lost their parents or something. Then we are also supporting those kind of students also. This scholarship we have started from this particular year. And so our motive is to excel in research to support bright students, and hence we are doing all the kind of activity where we can induct very bright students to our institute. Our programs are very much interdisciplinary in nature, where we offer the projects which is very real in nature, and where we require the support from all the streams. So that kind of education is being offered. And in all the programs, we also follow the philosophy of be what you want to be. Means every programs offers the core education, as well as it offers the choices to the students, where they can pick whatever they want to do in the futures to come. So if the students are interested in AI and ML or in data science, then they can go for such courses right from their graduation level. So overall, the philosophy is we are developing our students in such a way that they are all-round performers. So when they come out of the institute, they do not only have the core engineering or core branch knowledge, but they are also having the knowledge of the allied branches. Okay, so when they go into the industry, they are always industry ready, and from day one they can play important role and contribute to the industries. So this is what the philosophy of School of Engineering Technology at Navratna University. And most of our students, when they come out, are either well placed or they go for the higher studies in very renowned university in India and abroad, like IITs or NITs. If I'm talking about the engineering branches, and mostly in US and Canada and Germany, they are joining very good universities. So this is the philosophy of education at School of Engineering Technology. And with this, I once again welcome the experts, the Mr. Nikhil Patel and Mr. Vasal Gadia. And I look forward to your discussion, and I'm sure all the participants will be benefited out of your discussion. And once again, I welcome all the participants for sparing their valuable time over here. And I'm sure that you will be benefited out of this discussion. So stay with us till the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amresh sir. So today we are going to discuss about two important career options of new era. One is traditional one, which is computer application field, and other is one of the most emerging field, that is field of data science. So since data science is very new field for us, so firstly, I would like to ask Dr. Salma that what exactly is data science?
Yeah, thank you, Sheetal, for this question. Actually, this is a very elementary question. All the joint aspirants wants to know, and many of them actually the first time they heard about this field. So let me tell in very elementary level. Data science is a actually, you know, if you see the name data science, so it's all about the data process, and it's like process of this data. And like Nilay sir is talk already about it, that this information or the data generated from various places, various systems, like either it is education system, or it may be healthcare system, or the business, you know. So or the one of the major source is digital system. So nowadays all of us using the computers and mobiles and smartphones, and we have online apps and the surfing social media. So all these things are actually generating data every day, and this data, this information is stored by the industry peoples and the system originated people, and they want to analyze this, they want to process this information so that the appropriate prediction and the insight from this data can be generated. So this is the aim of the data science, and it is a you can see in demand the career path nowadays. Like the companies like Amazon, Facebook, and the Infosys, so all the leading companies, as well as the other companies, as well as the healthcare system, pharmaceutical companies, all are actually looking for such people. They can help us to analyze their data, their information, and by this process the company can grow or the system can grow. Like what the education motto of education system, like the education system, like the university can grow, the students have the good result, they can place in very good places. So all these aims can be fulfilled by the analysis of the data they have. So this is a main the element thing about the data science. And in today's technological world, you can see the data is generated, and therefore you can see this field is very important, not only like academic point of view as well as industrial point of view. And now I would like to ask Nikhil also to share his view on like what I said. I think he can have better views for this.
No, I think Salma ma'am, you are on to the point in terms of explaining what is data science, right? So you almost covered all the points, but let me add a few bullet points over here. So let's take a pause in terms of what is data science. Let's first understand what actually the mindset all the students and parents are currently coming from, right? So right now we are at the stage where we are listening so many things. So if I'm giving you a simple analogy of, let's say, for example, data science. So data science is like our mindset right now, especially where you as a teenage student, right, where you are standing. It's exactly the same. But what is exactly the problem over here is like everyone talks about it. There is so much buzz in the industry that, oh, there is a data science, and it's, you know, you once you learn it, you will get really good job or salary, or let's say whatever your aspiration, right, in your life, you will get it. So there is a lot of buzz, everyone talks about it, but in really nobody knows how to do it in a real sense, right? There might be some bits and bits, you might be looking at it from some online tutorials or videos, but there is not at all what you call there is like an end-to-end learning where you said that, okay, you have a full understanding in terms of data science. So if I repeat again, it's like more of everyone talks about it, but we don't know how to really do it. Now in this stage, we are thinking that, okay, everyone else is also doing it. And in that mindset, everyone else and everyone, including us, we claim that, okay, we are doing it, but actually we are not. So, so data science is like that, right? So it's like more of, so don't go by the buzz, as Salma ma'am just explained here. Um, get it from the right, what you call the industry expert, or the universities who are providing the platform where you can learn end-to-end data science as a program, right? So as Salma ma'am said, if we break that particular word data science itself in two parts, what is data and what is science behind it? So data, if I am going to ask where is data, from where it is coming, right? It's everywhere. Like whatever you are doing, the moment you start your day in the morning till you go to the bed, whatever you do, it generates data, right? And then data can be in any format. Say for example, it can be a simple Excel file or simple tabular format. It can be images, like what you are taking some pictures on a day-to-day basis and putting somewhere on your phone or uploading somewhere. So data can be images. Data can be in terms of voice, like you are talking on a cell phone, you are talking to your smart devices like Alexa or Siri or Bixby, where you are communicating and asking them like, can you play some music for me? Can you do some task for me? Can you put in a calendar for me? So a lot of these things, right? So data can be in the voice, data can be in the text, data can be any format of numeric or text. Like you're posting something on the social media, like you're typing something on the Twitter, you like some product, you dislike some product. So all those will be used as a form of your data. So now this is a massive data available with this kind of organizations that managing as a platform, as a services, or providing some sort of a product. But we as a data science, what our job is to understand or able to take this data, understand that data, and then process it, and then extract the value out of it, and then visualize means you create a story out of it, and then explain someone who is non-technical person, and then tell them that this is the value that you can get out of it, right? So a simple example, you must have seen a lot of things in your day-to-day life. You take a picture and upload on a Facebook, where you tag someone, right? On let's say your bunch of 10 friends went on a picnic or the outing, and then took the picture and uploaded, and at the first time you tag them, like Nikhil, Shital, Salma, and all of the friends are tagged on that picture, right? The next time, whether I am uploading or someone else is uploading, but if in that picture, if the Facebook finds whether it is a Nikhil or Salma ma'am or the Sital ma'am, it will recognize and tells you that would you like to tag yourself? So that the concept behind doing these things is called the data science or computer vision applications, right? Which recognizes yourself in that picture and identifies and tells you that how would you like to tag it, or if someone else is using your picture, you can still identify yourself something is going wrong on the Facebook. Another example, you all of you watch Netflix, right? You like to watch movies online, and someday you watch some movie, and the next time when you log in, you will get a recommendation. So hey, would you like to watch a similar movie or similar action movie or the comedy movie? So it learns by a time, like what you do online, what you do on the any social media platform, and it learns by itself as a backend system, and next time when you go online, it will recommend something for you. Similarly, you talk to Alexa, Siri are kind of also the applications. But in GIST, data, wherever there is a data, and whenever you try to understand or try to get an extract out of it, it's all behind that data science as an overall process. So back to Salma ma'am or Sheetal ma'am.
Thank you, Nikhil.
Yeah.
So on one click of our mouse or on mobile, we are generating lots of data every day, every second, I
Yes.
will say.
Yeah.
So let us move to Dhaval sir. Dhaval sir, can you tell us something about computer application field?
Yeah, ma'am. So computer applications field, and if I'm talking about the, BCA. So BCA is generally a 3 years program designed to meet the evolving requirement of IT sector. And in computer applications, it's more over the technology side as well as applied side. in which we are generally identifying the real world problem or real life problem and trying to resolve it, or trying to give some solution, computer based solution, by developing a software. So computer applications field is around this one only. If I add some more points so that it starts with some basic technologies, right, which are generally used nowadays, like HTML or PHP or Java or J2EE, and again mobile based applications also. So these are about the computer applications field, what we are focusing, what we are teaching them in the field in BCA. Now I invite Vatsal to add some more points or insights into it. Yeah, Vatsal.
Thank you. So I'll completely agree with the Sir what he said about computer applications. Like it's more towards covering the global world. Like when you are into computer applications, you can get connected with the people who are overseas as well, right? Now you get to learn about different things, and you can do several amount of tasks which are, you can say, not possible without the help of technology, right? For example, he said PHP or HTML. Nowadays you guys are doing a payment online, right? In previous years we were going to that any locations to bill payment and everything. Nowadays it just happened with a click. It all helps to, or thanks to the computer applications, right? So this is how it evolves us, and it connects us with the world, right? Yeah, over to you also.
So
Yeah.
we are offering bachelor course in computer application at Navrachna University. Right. So now I want to ask Salma madam, which course we offer in the field of data science at Navrachna University, and what are the unique feature of that course?
Yeah, Yashi. Okay, so here in our School of Engineering Technology, we are offering bachelor program, bachelor in science with the specialization of data science. And it is a very unique program in the sense that when you have to learn data science, or if you want to become data science, you have to learn the required skills. Like you need to have core concept of some mathematics, statistics for visualization, and of course computers to store the data, to prepare algorithms. So all the skills are required, and that is designed in this syllabus, in this curriculum of 3 years program, BSc Data Science, which is mainly have the 3 core subjects, the statistics, mathematics, and computers. And we are the uniqueness of the program is we have several programming languages like Python programming, because nowadays it is very popular, and it is very useful for data analysis. Very rich libraries are available in this programming. And beside this, we are also giving the concept of object oriented by this Java programming, and visualization tools are also there, are programming, and also some skills about data analysis like big data, Hadoop, cloud computing. So the curriculum is very much unique, and it is a very advanced curriculum. And also one of the unique feature of our program in PhD Data Science is like very few university offers this program at bachelor level, because actually the awareness is not full in even in India. Like many IIT has started this program at some of IIT has started as master level, and few of university like IIT Madras have started online BSc program. So we are one of the university in Gujarat. They are offering at bachelor degree this program, and after this program, one can, learn all the required skills for the data scientist, and they can opt like a job in some industry where they are looking for. And one of the another feature of this program, the eligibility is also very, very flexible in our university. This I want to share with you. Like, you know, I said data science, and like Nikhil sir also said that data is generated everywhere, every system. So it's not like only science people can learn data science or only mathematics students can learn. Everyone can learn and analyze. It depends on the interest. So so that we have kept this eligibility of our program, though it is Bachelor of Science, the eligibility is 12th standard pass with any stream. Either you are from science background, either you are from mathematics, either you are from biology background, because you know the healthcare system also needs to this data analysis. And of course the commerce students are also eligible for this program. And this is a very much interesting this eligibility, because commerce students also can have the business analytics. They can learn and they can explore their business, and of course the industry, business industry, they can utilize this data analysis. So therefore the eligibility of this program is 12th stand with arts or commerce or science background, mathematics, as well as the biology. And this is a 3 years program. And we have a project also, capstone project, where you can we teach to use the GitHub. That is a very nice you know, platform to deal with live data. Nikhil must know about it, this GitHub. And the Kaggle, they offer the data analysis project. So we try to teach our participants about means students about that. And of course we have the full internship at the last semester of the program. So these are the very unique feature that offered in this BS data science at Navrashna University. Yeah, Shital, so that much I think enough for our program.
Yes, yes, it covers most of the thing. But
Yeah.
let me just ask one more question regarding this, just extension of this, that what is importance of data science, or I can say that what type of industry require this data scientist? Nikhil, since you are in industry, so for outsider it looks like okay, KPO sector only require data scientist or data analyst. And Salma madam just talked that commerce people are also required here in for analyze data. So what exactly, which are the industries which require this type of professionals? Nikhil?
Yep. No, I think if I touch base with the industries, I think any organization, whether it is you name any industries, right? It requires underlying trying to understand the problem solutions that they are trying to solve on their day-to-day basis, right? Whether it is a smart city, whether it is a healthcare, whether it is a finance or retail, or any industry you say a name, right? It requires a basic functionality of solving some of the key problem with the help of underlying data, or with the computer application based solution development. So if we are trying to build certain product in that space, we definitely need that skill set. So I must say that you know, if you are looking for like next 10 years, 10 20 year 10 to 20 years of timeline, right? Data science along with the computer science or computer engineering or application, what you call, it will be the most demanding skill, right, in the next decade. So what will happen in next decade, right? We all are going to use cell phones, we all are going to use internet, we all are going to buy and sell some products. If we are a consumer, we are going to buy. If we are a manufacturer, we are going to sell the products. We are going to travel. There are issues in the healthcare. Our human body is a complex, and there are so many issues are related. And you know, the COVID is a recent example. So, and definitely if we are also traveling, we will use some sort of any kind of mode of the transportation. So if we are dealing with all this kind of industries, right, we are not just sitting inside home and doing nothing. We are going to do something here and there, and we are going to use some or other as a product, right, on our day-to-day life. Then yes, there will be a need for data science. There will be an importance of data science and computer science applications. Means at the end of the day, there will be tons of data available to with these organizations. When I say these organizations, those who are managing these platforms or the services or selling those products. Now, what these organizations want to do, they want to unlock the potential. When I say what they want to unlock is in terms of either they want to make their organization profitable, or what product they are selling, they want to make their end consumer life more easier, right? Or they buy more products, or they try to offer in a such a way that the end consumer will be benefited, whether it is in healthcare related solutions or any product that you buy from the online platform or going into the shop and buying something. And then as a consumer, we also have a right whether we like it or not like it, and there will be a lot of promotions going on. Whether you like it, then you will say something on some platform. So all those things will be tracked, and organizations want to use this information. But how? So the how part is all about, as I said earlier in one of the question, is understanding the massive data and utilizing that data. And if I repeat again, the steps are same. Look, you have to use that data, you have to process it, and you have to get a crux out of it. Means what the problem that you are trying to solve, or maybe you are trying to discover some unknown problem out of it, right? It is also one of the problem that you don't know what the problem is with the industry, so you are trying to discover new things out of it. Is more of a discovering from the existing data, and then building the solution on top of it with the help of statistical or the mathematical modeling or machine learning algorithm, and provide the best business value or return on investment out of it, right? So a lot of industries are solving the problem, as Sheetal ma'am asked. So there in future you will see probably the autonomous cars which will drive by itself. You just use your mobile application. Probably no one will own the car. You will use your mobile application. You call the car. I'm not talking about Uber or Ola here. It will be a fully driverless car come to your doorstep, and it will take to your destination where you want to go. So that kind of future we are talking here, right? We are talking about if you are really into the gaming industry, you really like the playing some nice games. So there is the scope for virtual reality, augmented reality. You can buy some products without going into the shop by just looking at online portal, which will give you a 3D feel and look of that particular product, right? So all these underneath things which requires the computer science and the data science as a core technology, and the industry is looking that kind of talent in next 10 to 20 years we are talking about. So it will be more automation, more process driven solutions will be there, which will be utilizing all this kind of data that they have collected over a period of time. So hope I have covered the topic here.
Yes, yes. So demand of this professionals will be in exponentially increasing form, I will say in mathematical
Yes.
form.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now I want to ask Vatsal, sir, what type of industry require this computer application professional? Is there any specific industry, or we have requirement everywhere for this type of professional?
Sheetal, we have very vast industries like covering this computer applications, right? It starts from our routine household work to the extensive work of any industry. So let's say we'll give you a quick example of our households. Nowadays we are using our mobile devices to control our fan, right? So it also using embedded systems like for the C programming, right? So that includes our mobile devices and the extensive usage till the time of we connect globally with any public. So buying an e-commerce item from online, is it in educational field or it's in finance field, everywhere we are using computer applications. The best example, it's over here only. Yeah, we are all sitting at the different locations, and we are still gathering for a single motto, right?
Right.
That's a best example. And due to COVID, the educational system has already gone online. So that's again a big impact on the educational system. We never thought about this, right? That we always tend to go to colleges and schools for study and to gain the knowledge. Nowadays, we are sitting at home, still we are gaining all the knowledge. Still, the experts like you, the sir, Nikhil, are giving us a knowledge which can train people and train students to face the real world. So these are the areas where computer application is helping the students. And as Nikhil correctly said, for coming 10, 20 years, I don't see any chances of this getting down. Like there is a graph is always in an increasing manner. If you go to any industries, if you go to any location, they always have that uh, involvement of technology. Nowadays, we see a sabji wala. He always used to pay Google Pay, right? We go somewhere
That's
and
right.
they always access an online payment.
Right,
People
right.
nowadays people are not even carrying the physical currency. They are just using their smartphones. What helps to technology all helps to computer applications, right? So these are the areas where I can see the technologies are trending,
Mhm.
and it all day by day it's only gonna evolve. I don't see any chances of getting it down. And the industries like finance and the e-commerce are at the boom. So I recommend like these two technologies and these two areas to people should explore them more.
That's very much true that after within last 3-5 years we are very much acquainted with technology, starting from that what we have is this pandemic also, and we are using Google Pay for our payment. Everywhere is this computers or technology, we can say. So I want to ask you, Vatsal, uh, if a student is learning something about computer in his school, then it is okay. He will be comfortable with computers. But do the student should have computer background to make career in computer application field?
Um, See, I don't think so. Like as someone said previously as well, students who are coming from non-technical background will suffer a bit, but when it comes to a technology, like people who have gone through the educational part in terms of computer, they will be more in terms of analytical thinking. They have a bit more knowledge about how the technology works, how they can tweak it, right? It's not about the courses or the actual technologies like let's say PHP, Java, or anything. They are not at all like you can say they are like materialistic, right? If you just know how to tweak a thing or how to think about that logic, the technology barrier should not be there. It just requires a bit of knowledge about analytical thinking and all. The technology is not at all a barrier, but
That
yes,
is
it
true.
will help to evolve you more.
Okay. And what about in data science, Nikhil? Do the student should have this knowledge previously?
Like,
Or
Uh,
so sorry, Nikhil, go ahead.
sorry, sorry. Yeah, are you?
No, no, you go
Also,
ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. So when you say computer background, I'm looking at it from a different perspective here. When we are talking about data science, computer science as an application here, right? What I want, if someone coming with, let's say, a degree, or let's say as a certification, or as a career in this particular field, what I want them to be have to them have a basic understanding of computer, right? When you say the computer, it will be a very generic thing. So let me be specific here in terms of I'm talking here about understanding about hardware, software, and a fundamental operating system here, right? If you open the laptop, you should know that you are working in Windows or you are working in Linux environment. You are which hardware you are using, what type of CPU you are using, what is its RAM, what is its you know processing power you have, how much storage capacity you are using it, whether it is on the physical laptop or the desktop that you are using. So for me, computer background is more of a basic fundamental thing. Like you should very much aware about that the laptop or the desktop that you are using. Then if you are using some sort of a cloud based application, you should aware about how to access those applications, how to connect them, uh, And if you are using a physical machine, then in a data science, computer science, the RAM, which is like a more of a processing power, right? It's more important. So based on that problem that they are trying to solve, what is the minimum requirement of the configuration of your machine is really important. What type of storage system that you should have on your system, whether it is a solid state drive or mechanical hard disk, or even the faster like NVMe. Those things are important. Then another important point will be, which probably is the most important, is like if you are working in this programming language kind of world, right? You need to understand about how these things works, how you can set up all this about programming language on your laptops and whatever the machine that you are using. Each programming language comes with its own version. So you need to have a basic understanding of, okay, if I'm working with a Python, if I'm working with R, if I'm working with Java, if I'm working even with a C library, what all versions that we are supported or cross compatible on the machine that you are using, right? So these are the fundamental things I'm talking about. Another most important thing is, I want, if you are doing your course in the data science, machine learning and computer science, the basic understanding of the different hardware. When I say hardware, you will see nowadays a lot of development kit, which is like an off the shelf kits are available. You should aware about those kits. So if I give you the name, or if I can show you here, so see, this one is a tiny computer. This computer is even powerful than anyone's machine, which has like 12 GB RAM. It can connect up to 6 cameras. It has a attached powerful storage, which is like 1 TB of storage. And the size, if I'm comparing inside the chip, it is more, it is somewhere around what you call the credit card size chip. So the future is something like this. You're going to play with this kind of devices, so you should know about a small form factor of the computer, what all industries are playing with it, right? How small they are going it. Even your cell phone is now a powerful computer nowadays. If you look, if you peel back your cell phone and the chipset that they are using, it has a powerful GPU in it, it has powerful CPU in it, and then you can do a lot of applications on it, right? So you should have a basic understanding what hardware, software that you are working in it, and it will help you as a longer run. And the another aspect of it is more of a, you should also have a basic understanding in terms of sensors like a camera, or say for example GPS sensors, radar, lidar, thermal camera, which will give you more of a temperature perspective of the image, right? So these things will be most important. And the last but not least is, you should learn in terms of working with a cross functional team. When I say cross functional team, is nothing but when let's say Navrachna University starts the course, it should not be like, okay, data science is a separate team and computer science is a separate team. They should work as a team together. If I'm coming up with one particular problem, I can give you a surety that not only data science person will able to solve that by their own, not the computer science people will able to solve that by their own. So they should have a mixed handshake between them as an individual team, that they should learn these things. So like how we should understand some of the not in-depth understanding of, I'm not saying data science people should know Java or PHP or any Android application development kind of work in depth, right? But they should know, if I'm building this application, where it is going to be applied, where it is going to be installed, how the end consumer is going to be used. All those aspects will help them to think in that way, that okay, if I'm building something, how the end consumer is going to be used and how it will be built. So I think this is more of my perspective of a computer background.
Okay, so a base is what I understand is to become a computer application professional or data scientist. Basic requirement is analytical or and logical skill. Otherwise, all computer related things we have here at our graduation level, whether it is
Yes.
BCA or BSc data science.
Yes.
So I think almost everything is covered by our industry experts and program chair. So last thing I want to ask Salma madam and Dhaval sir about what is the fee structure, because it is main concern of our parents for both the course. So Dhaval sir, we start with you about
Yeah,
fee
ma'am.
structure.
So the fees of BCA program is 40,000 per semester. 40,000 rupees per semester. So it will cost around 80,000 rupees per annum.
Okay, and what about BSc Data Science course, Salma ma'am?
Yeah, the fee structure is like 50,000 per semester. So like 1 year, 1 lakh, yeah. So it is 3 lakh, but I think it's investment because for your future. And if you compare with other institute, I think it's very much, it's not so much high. So you can think about the career. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
That's
as you know, the at name of Navrachna University and the professors and
Yeah,
an
the
animation
curriculum. Yeah.
available as well as the curriculum what we are offering. So I think it is justifiable.
Yeah, it's worth. Yeah.
that is true. Whatever we are spending for education is ultimately is not our spending in it is just an investment
Yeah.
which will be return in after few years. That's true. So I'm sure all the doubts regarding these two fields have been cleared through this conversation, but still if anyone want to ask their doubts, they can ask. So we are open for question answer session. Anyone?
If anyone has a question, can you please raise your hand, or you what you can do, you can post in the chat section, right? Even you can unmute yourself and can ask the question.
So I have here one question in my chat box that one person, Bhavik, wants to know about which company laptop and which RAM and processor and which generation is best for programming. Dhaval sir.
Here I would like to involve Nikhil ji, because the reason is that for our purposes, when we are talking about BCA, so I think 4 or 8 GB RAM is sufficient. Even 128 or 256 GB SSD is enough with Core i5 configuration. But when I'm talking about data science field, so it may require some more processing power. What Nikhil
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let me give you this answer in twofold. Let's say, for example, we have, I'm considering both the scenarios. I have enough money to spend on the hardware, and I don't have enough money to spend on the hardware. Still, you have resources available online. So I'm giving a answer to the second fold. First, let's say I don't have money to spend anything right now on the hardware perspective. There are online tools available. Let's say, for example, Google. There is a online portal available called Colab, or Collaboratory, which allows you to run any of your data science, computer vision based applications online, where they give you a powerful GPU as well as CPU. You can do a lot of algorithm running online. The only challenge it will have is if your job or if your machine learning algorithm that you are trying to train, if it goes beyond 24 hours, their APIs, means their portal will refresh automatically. Means anything which you are running more than 24 hours will be refreshed. So if you are doing a small work with a small data set, that is more than enough for you to start with. Now let's say if I have some basic fundamental money that I can spend on a machine. As Dhaval sir said, with 8 GB RAM is more than enough to play with it. Uh, if you want to store anything on your local machine, I must say at least 500 GB of SSD or NVMe drive is required. If you are doing let's say computer image processing kind of work, that you are playing with a lot of images or matrix multiplication kind of work, then I recommend GPU is must on the computer. GPU is nothing but the graphical processing unit. Nowadays, if you're buying a laptop especially for playing games, then GPUs are must, right? So that GPU configuration is also required. So I recommend any NVIDIA based GPU with minimum 6 GB of GPU processing power, and it can go up to 6 to 12 GB of processing power. And those configurations are standard, like 8 to 16 GB of RAM with Intel Core i7 processor or i5 processor is even good right nowadays. And any SSD. SSD I recommend over mechanical hard disk because it has a more read write of your data processing. Because if your data processing read write is slow, you might be spending more time in copying data from somewhere else to your laptop or machine, right? So if you want to do something fast, SSDs are nowadays good and they are cheap also. So consider those things. You can use AWS account also nowadays online from Amazon, and you can create any machine of your choice with CPU, GPU configurations, and the price will be very cheap. It will be cost you on the hourly basis. Let's say if you want that particular GPU machine for 1 hour, you can go online, activate, and then deactivate as soon as your work is done. And it will be charged based on the hourly basis, based on the region that you are in. Let's say you are in Gujarat within India, whatever the data center will be there, it will be charged based on that. So I recommend these are the few options. You choose online versus offline, and there are free open source material from Google and Microsoft as well. You can use your what you call the student ID, and you will get probably a free subscription also to work online machines.
Okay, so Bhavik, I hope your doubt is clear. Any other question?
Madam, I have received one question from Anjali that what are the options available after BCA? Right, she wants to ask this question. So the BCA is a basic degree. It's an undergraduate program, right? So once you complete this degree program, then you can apply for any postgraduate program within India or outside India. Means even in outside India, if I'm talking about the abroad, so in USA, Canada, Australia, you can pursue PG program. In USA, they have some requirement of 4 years of UG, but in Canada and Australia, there are some programs which directly, admit you on the basis of our BCA program. So this is about the scenario for further studies in India and abroad.
Okay, any other questions? So let us move to the end of this session. First, I extend my thank to our industry expert, Mr. Nikhil Patel and Mr. Vatsal Gaya, to take out time from their busy schedule to participate in panel discussion. I would like to thank Dr. Nilay Yajnik, Provost, Navrashna University, and Dr. Sandeep Vasant, Registrar, Navrashna University, for always inspiring and encouraging us. I extend my gratitude to Dr. Amrish Badgujar, Dr. Salma Pirzada, Mr. Dhaval Mehta, and Dr. Dinesh Panchal. And last but not the least, students and parents for attending this open house. So thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.
Yeah, Sheetal. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to just thank again our speakers, the industry experts, Nikhil and Vatsal, because the session was amazing, really, Nikhil. So actually, we also learn a lot, like so much information given by you two experts. So I'm very happy, and I hope all the participants will also have much knowledge from this session. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
It's my pleasure. Yep, thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Nikhil and Vatsal, for spending your valuable time here. Although you are busy with your day-to-day routine and your job, so thank you very much.
No.
Thanks again. Have a good day, and Nikhil, good night to you.
Okay.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Yep. No, thanks. Have a good day and have a wonderful week, all of you. And stay safe in the COVID world. And wish you all the best.
Same to you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Let's disperse. Yeah.
Dhaval sir, please end the meeting.
I'm going to stop the recording and then we can.
Okay.
Yeah.